Hello and welcome. This is Michele Christensen of OneNote Worthy Life, and in this video I'm going to show you how I keep all of my dog's records organized and available just on my phone at any time using OneNote. And you could of course use this for any pet that you wanted to do. I have a notebook for each dog, and each of those notebooks is shared with my husband, and it's usually just one section unless there is a specific health issue where we're going to be gathering a lot of information like test results or paperwork or whatever. The section I'm showing you today is for a dog who has passed away, and it's an exact copy of the notebook we had for this dog, and I've just changed a few things for demonstration purposes, but other than that it's pretty much exactly how it looked when she was with us. So this is a cover page that I start with, and it's kind of an overview. It has a timeline of the history of the dog, and it's also a quick way to get to any event in the dog's history. It's just a OneNote table with 3 columns. It's got the date, a description of the event, and then any other description that might be needed. And then that description field might have a link to another page that has more information. And I'll show you an example of that in a couple of minutes. So I like to keep the new dates on top because it's most likely that I'll need that information sooner. Like if I'm going in to get their shots next year, I'm going to need the shot records from last year much more often or more likely than I would need records from 5 years ago. So I keep the most recent on top, and that means that I add a row to this table every time I want to make a new entry. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to click in this blank space right here below the header row, and then from the table menu I'm going to click insert below. You could click insert above, it doesn't really matter as long as you're in that blank line. And now we have a blank line to add another event to this table. So a lot of the events in this table don't need a page, so things like flea medication, weighing the dog, or in this case we did a special bath one day. That doesn't need a detailed page. But for vet visits, shots, and registration, I do use a page that is linked from this cover page. So on this first line of our table, you can see that Daisy went to the vet on this date here. And if I click that link, it will take me to the vet notes for that day. So these top few points were just points that I had written up before we went in. I wanted to make sure I had all this information available, and I would strongly recommend this whether you're going to the vet with a pet or to the doctor for yourself or a family member. It's so many times I have all these things I want to say, and then you get in there and you can't remember anything. So I like to have notes prepared to make sure I don't forget anything. Then I wrote down some of the things the vet said as she was examining the dog, like what she was going to do, what was going to happen, what the vet prescribed. And then down here at the bottom, these are just some handwritten notes I took for how to give the medications and prescriptions that the vet described. I also have a subpage that contained the receipt from this visit, and that's right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And the actual receipt was here. I created a dummy invoice to put it in here, and you can see that here. And to make it a subpage, you just right-click on the page name, and in this case it would be Promote Subpage, but if you were making it a subpage, you would select Make a Subpage. So if your vet provides PDF or emailed records, you can print those right into OneNote. So I'm going to pull up this dummy receipt here in PDF form, and I'm going to show you how we would print this into OneNote. So I'm going to click the printer icon, and then right here, instead of sending it to a physical printer, we're going to send it to OneNote, and you could pick either version of OneNote. It doesn't matter. It's whichever one you're using. If your vet provides a hard copy of a receipt, you can scan that into OneNote using your phone, and I'm just going to show you where that is. So this is a screenshot of my phone screen with OneNote open, and I've circled the camera icon in orange. So you would just click that and then use your phone to scan a hard copy of the receipt. I also have a YouTube short showing how to scan things using your phone, so that'll be linked in the description if you want more information on how to use your phone to scan documents. So Each vet visit is going to have things like my notes, the doctor's notes, papers from the doctor, any test results, aftercare, handwritten notes, etc. But you could also scan the label and dose instructions for any medication or products that the vet prescribed as well. In this case, we got a prescription for something called Apoquel, and I also did some research on that, so I have a page for that because I wanted to understand what we were using. So this cover page is really useful because it keeps everything in order chronologically, and I'm able to get to every event in my pet's health history really easily. Of course, you can also store things like copies of the dog's registration, their tags, their adoption information, anything else like that in the notebook. So keeping the dog's records this way has a lot of benefits. All of the information is in one place. There's no loose paper, or very little anyway. There's nothing to remember when you go to the vet. I just have to make sure my OneNote account is synced or can be synced on my phone, and then I've got my pet's entire history with me. So you can share a page out of this notebook with your vet by text or other means as allowed by your device. And of course, you'll need a Wi-Fi or cellular connection at the vet's office if you want to do that. So I'm going to just quickly show you how that works on my Android phone and on my iPad. On my Android phone, I pull up the page I want to share and I click these three dots in the upper right. From the menu that pops up, I click Share Page. Then I can select Share as PDF or plain text. So that's your choice, whichever would work better. Generally, I'd probably use a PDF if I was at the vet's office. Now let me show you how I would share a page on my iPad. So you'll go to the page that you want to share and click the button that looks kind of like a box with an arrow pointing out of it. That's the Share button. From the menu that pops up, click Send Copy of Page. The next menu that pops up gives you the option to email with Outlook or send with another app. So you could obviously email it with Outlook if you have your Outlook installed on your iPad. I'm going to select Send with another app. And once I click that, I get a bunch of options similar to when you're sharing documents and other settings. So I could airdrop it, send it via text, email, etc. So there's a whole bunch of options in there for how you would share a page on the spot when you're in your vet's office. So another benefit of keeping my dog's records in this way is that all of the pet guardians, in my case it's myself and my spouse, we both have equal access to all the information for the dog, and we know where it is at any time. And you could also give read-only access to a pet sitter or a dog walker who may need it. So I find this way easier to maintain than any kind of a paper file. It's just, everything's digital. It just sits in the Microsoft cloud. I never have to think about it. It's super easy. And then you also don't have to remember to bring the records with you. The final point is that if you ever need your pet's information in an emergency, we don't like to think about that, but it could happen. Like that would be something like an accident or a natural disaster. You only have to have your phone and you've got all those records with you. So that's it for today. That's how I keep all of my pets' records in OneNote. If you like this video, please let YouTube know by hitting the thumbs up button. And if you want to see more OneNote tutorials or use cases like this, as well as content on getting things done and personal organization, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.